Namaste, Vanakkam. Hope you're fine. Now just free up your mind. Just relax. I'll see you how to earn money in home. That's the recent training searches in this lockdown, I think so. Before searching for that, you need to definitely see this video so that the perspective of earning alters your mind, which will reap you the real money for sure. Okay, let me start. Some history can change the perspective of life. I wonder how people is changing each and every second. I feel like I'm really gifted to note all these things in my life. The need of someone in this world is changing us each and every minute. Have you ever thought about it? If you could have noticed. The fact is, we are working for someone who is a stranger in this world each and every minute. Can you believe it? Yes, you should. We are the martyrs. We are forbidden to know about what living really is. But how? I will come to the point. The interesting fact that you have to know is no one really knows that who invented money. But historians have some evidences around 700 BC that some metal objects were first used as money. Have you ever thought what could have been there before money? Barter system, yes, of course. But there must be something behind the barter system which still exists. And do you know what's that? Now it's known people values money and they term that as wealth, which are just papers. But before money, what was there to value? Simply the emotions. The warm heart that could thaw the stone hearts. Okay, I'm not here to bore you with philosophy, but we have to think a little deeper. We know that we have sixth sense, but the sixth sense is the real culprit here. Why? Because animals haven't created any money. They just wander for fetching food to live. They just stand still and admire the nature. If it has any progeny or cubs, it will fetch some food for them too. Are they really called as slaves by its own child? Or did we ever call our parents as slaves for us? Isn't that their duty to nurture us? Yes, it is, of course. In the olden days, it is the same duty to nurture our mankind. But, and make them feel comfort in living. But see how it has really changed. I can give a tentative statement, but very certain that why money was introduced. It is because some of our men in those days would have refused to do their duty. It might be in the era where barter system existed. Maybe their duty could be subjected to very few dear ones. Due to this, the term money might have been coined. Then the money would be supposed to be their need, which might have become their one best solution for shattering the refusal of someone's duty. Because no one can refuse it then. Because they need to do something for the mankind in order to earn the money, which in turn gives them the necessary resources to live, which includes food or clothing or anything. Noted that the solution for the refusal of one's duty was money that time, but now it is all about the solution for the refusal of one's knowledge. Is this a need? The trade now is all about this, which is a limitation. The sixth sense is nothing but the term limitation. The sixth sense always limits us with someone or something. That is its sole duty. I can call it as bird flower. The fifth sense is so far enough for us. This is a small level of trade, but this reflects the large level of trade too. The global trade is nothing but mirrors the same concept. When a nation lacks its own resources, it relies on some other nation. Now the limitation is proudly called as nationalism. Now the trading of resources for money plays a vital role again. The global capitalism is a large-scale view of personal capitalism. Yes, I can understand that handling of resources is the knowledge that the society relies on. If that is so, then it must think of those who are really incapable of acquiring the knowledge of certain man-created resources. If resources handling gives people the money, then why there is no uniformity in the education system? What did a new progeny do to this world? Just because a child of an unskilled labor, they should not be provided with the least resources of education. Is this the justice of the mankind? This is why, because the big heads and big hands need manual labor. They need unskilled labor just to enslave them for their utmost comforts. Some activists yell that a proper education is important for everyone. I'm sure they are really unaware. Instead of a proper education, the proper educational resources are very important for everyone. If they do really care about them, then they should yell for this too. Just the provision of good educational resources is still not enough. They need some driving resources to acquire those educational resources. I accept you people may say that it is one's personal interest for acquiring the education and they are still doing it. You may say that. Yeah. Yes. Very few are doing it. That by struggling. They are really gifted so that they understand how important the education is. But what did others do? We people make some generations believe that luck is the justice that everyone relies upon. So they end up with their unlucky chance in the rest of their life. Why no one is caring about this? The sixth sense, which is, as I said, the limitation of one's duty. Everyone thinks that it is not my duty to provide educational resources to everyone. How can I, being a common man? That might be your first thought. If you can do it, you may drive someone to do it. That's what I can say. Why the limitation of duty is disseminated throughout generations? You may think that too. Yes, it's because the comfort we conquer by limiting our responsibility is spontaneously high, being a sixth sense species. We don't really think that we are responsible for this whole world. The first nagging questions that come to your mind is, how am I? Okay, for this, I will ask you a question. Can you accept that Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, or your president or prime minister responsible for your country or this whole world? Can you? You should understand first that they were one among the commons. They can do because of their determination. Why can't we do that too? We lack determination. That is, it's because the inbuilt inferiority complex that we gained by the circumstances. Okay, think nothing, but be determined. That's the best way of living. That's the standard of a human being. The poverty is not a natural process. It is an inability that's forced by the society of experts. We are not just responsible for our children, our family, or our loved ones. We are also responsible for this whole world, whole mankind. Money can be eradicated now, but a uniform educational resource and a uniform drive to acquire the resource is just in our hands now. You may ask, what are those educational resources? I will say you that a rich and a middle class students can access the internet. They can access the right subject which is chosen by themselves based on their interest, because they might have come to know about all professions throughout their school, college, home, or friends, or other personal life. Here is one good example. A student of an international school can be compared with a student of some low school or government school, anything. If you still think that it's the law, then I'll say it's an injustice. I would just condemn that. You may also think, what happens if we provide an equal education to everyone? The labors can become extinct. If so, who does those underprivileged jobs? If everybody knows everything and if everyone become the owner of some business entity, who would do the rest of the work? You may ask that question. The answer is, we may get two results. One is there will be no attitude in anyone. Think, how will it be? A CEO cleans the office, provides the tea to other workers. How will that be? Think about that. Okay, not quenching. How can he manage big works as well as such things? That may be your other question. Okay, if he can do such things, he would request someone to do the thing. There is the difference between an order and a request. Note that first. The second thing is everyone would be satisfied with their job. That's too important as they would have chosen their job based on their passion. How would it be if there is no blue collar workers? First thing is we will behave well in this society with no attitude. We will spontaneously maintain our hygiene in our environment. I'm not here to say that there must be no blue collar workers. We might be a white collar worker, but we can do a blue collar worker's job too. Not a much, but as much as we can do to our own environment. Cleaning floors and walls might become a relaxing activity one day. It might happen. This will increase the joy of our life. Moreover, think if everyone in India starts a business, how would it be? Wow, we will have more and more assets than we could imagine really. India will become one of the most powerful country in the world. What if someone don't do any hard work in any field? Don't worry, they will do because still money exists. I will continue on this tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Share them as much as you can because everyone should know about this. Stay safe. Nandri. Shambho Mahadev. Thank you.